Miss Elsie always sat at the same corner table every Thursday afternoon, her back to the window, bathed in slanted sunlight filtered through the dusty blinds. Her antique typewriter, cream-colored with faded green keys, clacked steadily, somehow soothing amid the hum of old radiators and muffled pages turning. She wore a tweed blazer, even in summer, and brought her own teacup wrapped in cloth, which she filled with Earl Grey from a battered thermos. Everyone in the library knew her. No one really knew her, except maybe me. We never spoke, not really. But I'd been coming to that library for years, always studying at the same long table, 2 seats down from her. Over time, we fell into a kind of rhythm, quiet nods, shared silence, and the unspoken agreement that the chair opposite hers would remain empty. One afternoon last winter, I looked up from my textbook and saw her crying softly. No sobs, just tears, falling as she flipped through a worn book of poetry. I didn't say anything. I just slid the box of tissues from the windowsill closer to her side of the table and went back to studying. The next week, she brought me a lemon scone. Last Thursday, she didn't show up. I noticed the absence before anything else. The silence where her typing should have been, the cold chair, the empty window seat. I kept glancing at the door, expecting her to walk in with her blazer and her tea and her worn leather satchel. Instead, the librarian approached me, quietly placing a sealed envelope in front of my notebook. "She left this for you," she said. "Said you'd understand." My hands shook as I opened it. "Dear Jacob, thank you for pretending not to notice when I cried over the poetry books last winter, and for always leaving the chair opposite me free. This place was my refuge long before you started studying here, but your quiet kindness made it feel like home again. The doctors say I won't make it to spring, so here's my secret. I wasn't writing letters. I was writing a novel, one for every person who sat near me over the years. Yours is in the stacks under P for possible. Keep the table warm for someone else." I walked the aisles in a daze, found it exactly where she said, in the fiction section, tucked between Pilgrim at Tinker Creek and Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. A thick manuscript, wrapped in brown paper, tied with string. My name was written across the first page in her unmistakable typewriter font. It wasn't just a story. It was a mirror, a map of me she'd somehow drawn from glances and silence. It was honest, warm, and quietly heartbreaking. Now I sit at her table every Thursday, still 2 seats down from the window, still the same rhythm, and I always leave the opposite chair open, just in case someone needs it.